playoff atmosphere in the air. Mike Petraglia inside Acrisure Stadium in downtown Pittsburgh. The red-hot Cincinnati Bengals, having won 3 straight. They're 8-6 on the season. Behind quarterback Jake Browning, look for their 4th straight victory. They'll need it if they want to continue their playoff push, while the 7-7 Pittsburgh Steelers come into this game reeling. They are starting Mason Rudolph at quarterback, and the Steelers have lost 3 straight since beating the Bengals back on November 26 at Acrisure Stadium, 16-10. You recall in that game, the Steelers ran all over the Bengals for 153 yards on 33 carries. The Bengals ran the ball only 8 times. All of those belonged to Joe Mixon. The Bengals established no running game in that contest, 222 yards total offense. The Steelers had a season-high 421 yards of total offense. Certainly the Bengals will come into this game looking to stop the Pittsburgh running attack and make Mason Rudolph beat them. Certainly in that game, it was Najee Harris and Jaylen Warren, the 2 running backs, really doing a lot of damage. This time I would expect 6 to 7 Bengals in the box at all times to make sure the Pittsburgh running attack is under control. Again, make Mason Rudolph beat you at quarterback. For the Bengals, 2 positions to keep your eye on. One is obvious, and that is the wide receiver position. Jamar Chase is out with a reported separated shoulder. He will miss this game. Who steps up and fills the void? Who helps to take up the slack in terms of offensive production? Well, certainly last year at this very time, the day before Christmas in New England, Trenton Irwin had a very big game. He did so again against the Arizona Cardinals earlier this season. But it was Zach Taylor hinting this week that rookies Andre Yosivach and Charlie Jones could have a bigger role in this game. Also, keep an eye on Shedrick Jackson should a receiver go down. He has been elevated from the practice squad. He will play in this game, certainly on special teams. Another player that is expected to at least get some special teams reps would be Sidney Jones. He is also elevated for this game. Those are the 2 elevations for the Bengals. The other position is Dominique Davis, the nose tackle in his 2nd season. The Bengals look to get him some reps for the first time this season. Obviously, DJ Reader is out for the season, having had surgery this week on a torn tendon in his left quadriceps right above the knee, so it's essentially a knee injury. But with DJ Reader out, how will Lou Anarumo, the defensive coordinator, compensate? What will he do to scheme around the injury? Will he fill in the gap with Josh Tupou, who played very well last week, and Dominique Davis, or will he go with a lighter look on the interior of the defensive line? Joseph Osai got some reps inside. Cam Sample got some reps. Maybe even Sam Hubbard in obvious run situations. Maybe he is playing more inside. We'll have to wait and see how Lou Anarumo decides to play that one out, but it'll be certainly interesting to watch. The weather, you can tell behind me and by what I'm wearing as well, it's not bad at all. We're expecting temperatures in the upper 40s, maybe touching 50 degrees. No precipitation in the forecast. There was some inclination and some suspicion that we might get some rain. It was Evan McPherson squirting the practice balls for Cal Adamitis at practice on Thursday, squirting the balls with water. In the event that the Bengals got some rainy, wet conditions, certainly the field could still be wet with a 4:30 p.m. Eastern Time kickoff, but we are not expecting any precipitation. No rain, sleet, or snow really is in the forecast. It's going to be partly cloudy, so it should remain very mild, very unseasonably mild for December 23rd here in downtown Pittsburgh. The biggest factor, as it always seems to be right here on the convergence of the Ohio, Monongahela, and of course the Allegheny, would be the wind. We are expecting gusts of up to 14 or 15 miles an hour. That could play a factor late in the game, especially if it's a close game where field goals are in play. Well, the Bengals, they have won 3 straight. They look to make it 4 in a row and keep their playoff hopes well in position, well alive, and at the same time trying to put out their arch rival, the Pittsburgh Steelers, out to pasture If the Steelers lose this one, that's 4 straight. They fall to 7-8, and just about all playoff hope for them would be out the window. Of course, the Bengals haven't won in the AFC North yet this year. They are 0-4 in the division. They'd like to change that this afternoon in Pittsburgh. We'll have you covered as always, clnscincy.com. Follow me on X at Trags, Trags. And as always, subscribe to my YouTube page, youtube.com/@JungleRoarPod. Inside Acrisure Stadium in Pittsburgh, Mike Petraglia, CLNS Media.